Alright, go work on the old Ford again, 64 F100. And last time we were with you, we took the axle out and we're going to put kingpins in it and put disc brakes on the front, but we ran into a problem. So let me show you what that is. Here's the front axle. We still have it out. I'm going to have to find another axle because this part right up here, you know, where the kingpin goes in, it's all wore out. You see how loose that is? That should be tight. You should have to hit that in with a hammer, you know, and that's just no good. New kingpins wouldn't do anything for that, you know. So I'm gonna see if I can find another axle. You know, some of you guys are saying, well, just put a bushing in it, but you see how when they cut this, it's off to the side here. You know, it's not really centered on that, and I don't know if you can see the side here, but the side goes in. So you put a bushing in there, you wouldn't have more than 1/16 of an inch of meat there. And bushing it ain't out of the question. But if we do bush it, we're gonna plug that and move that in, and then bore it out. But instead of doing all that work, I'm gonna see if I can find another axle that's good. I've been looking and haven't had much luck. I know where one's at, but I don't know if it's any good. And in 2 weeks, we got the Carlisle car show, and maybe I'll go up there and see if I can find one. So, and 64 is the last year they used this. I think they used this axle from, I don't know, maybe 1960 to 64, and then they went with the twin I-beam. But anyway, that's where we're at. So we can't do anything with the front axle right now. So what I'm going to do is, I got some brakes, picked up a set of brakes for the rear, and 2 new wheel cylinders. I'm just going to replace the cylinders. You know, if you just replace all the rubber and stuff like that, you'd have to bore it out, and it costs like $10 for a rebuild kit for all the springs and the rubber and stuff like that. And for another $5, you get the whole cylinder. So we're going to throw that on. That was a no-brainer there. But we'll take it off. It might be a little tough to work on because of the way they have it set up and lowered, but see what we can do. Alright, let me go get a jack and a tripod for you guys. Alright, I got the wheel off. It was tough because it's sitting so low, but we got it. Alright, the only thing holding this drum on is these lug nuts. So if your handbrake is released, make sure that's released, or else this will never come off. And sometimes the brakes are hung up, but I've already had this off to check them. So then you just pull this off, and it's hanging up on the brakes. So sometimes you have to. There you go. There you go. All right. Huh. Well, that axle's going to cause problems, but we'll get it. Alright, let me take my gloves off here. Here's a tool I didn't have when I was a kid. An iPad. So what you want to do is, what we used to do is we used to take the other side off in case you're not sure how it goes back on or something. You know, you do one side at a time. You can always go around the side and check. But with the iPad here, you just take pictures of it. Because a lot of this stuff is layered, you know, got to go on a certain way. You got short springs and long springs and thick springs and all kinds of springs, so take pictures of it. Alright. Alright. Like on the front brakes, usually what we used to do is just take this spring off here. You get this spring here holding the shoe on, this spring on the shoe, and you just separate them and then pull them off, and everything will come off. But back here you got the emergency brake and stuff like that, so I don't know how well that's gonna work. So let's take these springs off. Can't even feel. Oh, here it is. And then my finger on. All right. Yeah. Alright. That's just held on with a spring here. Try and stay in view. And this little tab just sticks on there, and it's turned sideways, so you just have to find the opening. But like I say, you gotta find the pin in the back and keep it from spinning. There you go. Like I said, we used to just take these off and separate them, but we got a lot of springs going on here, so I'm gonna look and see what we gotta separate. Alright. This down here is your adjuster, so if you separate them, that should fall right out. There we go. Okay. That's your adjuster. Alright, that brings them in a little closer. There's less tension on the springs. Sometimes you can just pull the springs out. Okay, that one spring is attached to this. That's your automatic adjuster. You usually roll backwards, hit the brake, and it'll tighten that up. Okay. This spring here is ready to come out. There we go. That's one spring. Huh. Interesting the way that's put in there. I bet you wasn't supposed to be that way. Somebody messed up. That was just stuck in a hole. Huh, I don't know. We'll have to research it. And then you got this. Here's your brake. Oh no, that's your pull. That pulls it when you go backwards. Okay, your adjuster. All right. Now, like I say, you can just pull these out. Just watch your face. There we go. You get your emergency brake holding this piece on, and then up here, let me see if I can get that spring off of there. Alright, it's only been about 30 years since I did this, actually probably 40. Alright, let me unhook this spring. I'm going to turn these back on, so if I miss something, I'll be able to go back and see it myself. Alright, let me get this spring out of the way here. Alright. See, now I didn't see how it came off, but I sort of remember that was just sitting there. Okay, so we lost that. Then this goes on. Alright. Now, you got this little bracket sleeve. See, there's the front and the back to that. It's like you only put it on one way. And the one side has the spring holding it in place. Okay. Now, that looks like it should just pull right off. Hey, that's emergency brake. That just pulls right off. On the new brakes, you're probably gonna have to, take this. Where you guys at? Gonna have to unhook that and put that piece in. Alright. Now, like I said, I'm gonna clean all these parts out. This master cylinder must have been leaking because this is all cruddy. So I'm gonna wind up having to clean all that out. And here's where your wheel cylinder's at in here. You're gonna need these little titties here because the cylinder don't come with them. It don't look like there's a right and a left or a front and a back or an inside and outside. So, all right. Here's your other pin. All right, so there you go. It's all taken apart. Now, like I say, I got to. That has 2 bolts on the back and a brake line hooked to it. Feels like a wore out brake line too. Oh yay. Alright, let me clean some of this stuff up and then we'll turn these back on. Don't go away. I brought these inside the garage here. We're on the bench. It's a little cooler in here. I put the air on. Alright, I got the parts over here soaking in gasoline. And here's the other brake shoe. We're not going to use that one. That one actually don't look too bad. But here are the new ones. The first thing you want to do is check and make sure they're the right ones. Right? How many times you go to a store? These are actually, I had to mail order these. The local stores didn't have them. But I want to make sure they're the right ones. So this is, I'm going to try to keep you in frame. It's tough. Okay. This one has more holes, but that's okay. You know, you got these two holes here, the big one and small one. Then you got this one. That one's a little small. I guess it'll be okay. I don't know what that holds. And then this. Down here you got the big indent, and you got a little indent. And then that. So these look like the right pads. So what we got to do is got to take this arm off. It looks like it's got a little, some kind of a lead clamp there or something. So, let me see, the screwdriver right here. I think I got it. There you go. Okay. You just separate that. Yeah, this is like most of the older cars, they're all the same. And that there's just a washer to keep stuff from sliding. And then that should come right out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean that up and then put it in there. Alright, I cleaned that up. I'm not going to wire wheel it or paint it, you know what I mean? I'm not restoring this thing, I'm just making it a daily driver. And rust is exactly your protectant. Some guys don't believe that, but that'll protect the metal under it. But anyway, we'll just stick this back in a hole there and flip it over. Clean this up. This is actually a spring washer. Probably has a different name, but that's what we're going to call it, a spring washer. And then that sort of lead washer there. And I'm trying to do this so you can see it, guys. Just squeeze it together. There we go. There we go. We got it. So that's ready to go back on. Also, when you're working on these, wow, somebody put their greasy hands on there. A piece of grease fell on there. Try not to touch the pads. Although it's going to happen. Alright, I'm going to go out there and clean off the wheel on the truck, the hub, whatever you want to call it, because that's all full of grease. Alright, I'll see you when we get back. Alright, yeah, I got it pretty much cleaned off. I didn't clean it with a little wire brush and gas yet. What I'm going to do is take the master or the wheel cylinder off here, and that way I can get behind that. But to take the brake line off, you need these. It's not. Oh, I guess it is a special tool. You could probably get it off with a regular wrench, but call this a flare nut wrench. See, it's got the slit in the top. It's not a box. It's not an open end. You know, it goes almost all the way around. But the sides are real thick so that it doesn't flex. And that's what you use for your brake lines. You get it on there, and most of the time it can get you off. So I'm gonna work on that. You guys take a break. All right. Yeah, I'm working blind myself, so I can't really send you guys around the back to show it. I got the one bolt out. Feels like I might have it. Alright. Should come right out. There we go. Alright. Alright, I don't know if you can see this, but because I got a lot of glare. But here's the brake line, and here's the nipple. And the flare nut goes over the line here, and then you can get to the nut itself. So that's how that works. What I'm doing now is I got most of the heavy grease off. I scraped a little heavy grease off. Now I'm just my little can of gasoline, and this is loosening all the stuff up. Then what I'm going to do is after I got this nice and soaked, it's all going into the box here. It's not going on the ground or anything. But after I get this pretty much wet and clean and stuff like that, then I'll take a little wire brush, and I can see I got most of it already. You know, this wire brush really isn't doing anything, but that's how we're going to get most of the grease off. Actually, all the grease. Alright, just watching that. Alright, yeah, it probably still looks a little grungy on camera, but actually it's not. It's actually pretty good, you know. You're not gonna get it perfectly clean, but I like it. Alright, let's go back inside and we'll clean all the stuff that's in the little bucket. Alright. Yeah, I'm not gonna show you guys me washing these parts, cleaning them parts, but I wanted to point this out that there are a right and a left to these, and this one here is left. I think they go by looking at the car. That's why I always call it passenger and driver's side, so nobody's confused. Actually, what did I say that was? That was the left. Huh. Look at these. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Actually, they go by sitting in it, so there you go. That's the one right there. You see, that's pointing in that direction. And this one is pointing in the other direction. So there is a right and a left. All right. Thought I'd point that out to you. All right. All right. So if that's the left, they go by sitting in the car, which makes sense, because in England they call it a right-hand drive, and that would be the other side. So sitting in the car, the left side. All right. All right. Yeah, we got all the parts cleaned up. Like I said, I didn't shine nothing up. I hit this on the wire wheel because it's a thread, and these here, they're going to go through the rubber there. But other than that, I'll probably put a little never seize on there, because that goes on here, and then maybe a little never seize in here because that sits on Aaron spins. So that's where we're at with that. I noticed something. I was just cleaning the parts and throwing them in this pan. And then I'm looking at this pan, and this is actually porcelain over steel. And I don't know where I got it or why I picked it at it, or all the pans I got up there, but I'm thinking this thing's probably older than I am, and that's pretty old. That's pretty neat. That was the Teflon of the day, I guess. Porcelain. Pretty cool. Try and find one of them now, huh? All right. I think I'm going to take a break. I forgot I'm going to have to clean the drum too, the inside of the drum. I'll wipe that out and clean that up, but you guys don't have to see that. And I'll see how long this videotape is, and then maybe I'm going to go out to dinner, and we'll come back and we'll throw it all together. If not, we'll see you tomorrow. But if we got plenty of time left and I feel like doing it, we'll put it back together. All right, save the dinner here. I put the wheel cylinder in and hooked the brake up, or the brake line up, and then I just stuck these in here and put the shoes on. And now I gotta put the springs on. That's all. Put the springs on and the adjuster down here. It'll tighten everything up. But I don't mind telling you, man, this thing's kicking my ass. I'm starting to lose daylight here. That's why I got the light on here. So I'm gonna clean up, and then we'll get on this again tomorrow morning. All right, we'll see you then. All right, we got it all in. Now all we gotta do is put the drum on and adjust it. But I'm not gonna adjust it because I just went in and ordered new hold down springs and retainer clips and stuff for the brace, because this one here looks like it wants to shoot out and hit me in the head. So I'm gonna put it on for now, and then when they come in, I'll switch them. It's just easy enough to do that. So, all right, let's see. All right, now put the wheel on and lug nuts, and I'll be okay. It wasn't too bad. The other one will be easier because I sort of know what I'm doing now. All right, what do you guys say? Enough of this? All right. All right. Yeah, yesterday I finished the other side of the truck, and I mentioned putting the never seize on some of these parts, and I forgot to even show it to you. But where you guys at? I call it never seize, but this is Permatex anti-seize. It's all the same stuff. I think never seize is a brand name, but comes in silver, comes in copper. But anyway, you put it on stuff that's going to be exposed to water and rust and stuff, and you don't want it to seize up like these threads. This here's the adjuster. This is the right side, so it's a reverse thread. But anyway, then you put it on. I put it on lug nuts and stuff like that, you know, and you'll be glad you did it, you know, a while down the road. But for this, I'm just going to just take a little bit of it and stick it inside the threads here. You don't need much because this stuff gets all over everything, and it comes with a little brush. And like I say, you don't need much, you know, because it'll work its way around. And it'll keep everything from rusting up on you and seizing up. That's what I call it, never seize, anti-seize. Even on stuff that's like not threaded, you know, like this up here. This isn't threaded, but this spins. This has a little washer that goes on here, and then this little doohickey here goes on top. But this spins when you adjust everything. And like I say, you'd be glad you did that. All right, back to what you were doing. Yeah, if you work on any kind of cars or motorcycles or equipment or anything, yeah, you need this stuff. So I'm gonna leave a link in the description for you guys that want to check it out.